the WhatsApp group over the last week with Pete trying to get a ticket for this game on Sunday has been extraordinary.
I mean, it has been confirmed, though, that Newcastle will not have an open-top bus parade if they lose the final.
Yeah, I don't think...
Why do we need confirmation?
Why does that need to be said? Because they had because in the 90s, when they lost a couple of cup finals, they did open bus stuff. And if you watch it back, it's depressing.
Yeah. Let's see your silver medals.
Well, I think for the Carabao Cup, it's simply too windy at that time of year in the northeast. Yeah. Anyway, regardless of that, I'm sure DJ Shaq will do something for it. And that's what everyone's really waiting for, right?
There for.
Well, it is now. Alan Shearer called it embarrassing when they had to do those...
Why'd you go then, Alan?
No, I think he had to.
Yeah, but no, he's one of the most powerful athletes in the country at that point. If he didn't want to go, he could have not gone.
Yet more bad news for Newcastle United, although I think that is good news that they're not going to do the open-top bus parade, is Newcastle fan Alan Carling.
He's now changed his name to Alan Carabao.
Very good.
Yeah.
Anyway. And of course, but for those older, you'll have known him as Alan Milk.
Alan Rumbelows. Alan Milk. That's it.
He came home from Newcastle's 2-0 defeat to Liverpool to find that his dog had eaten his Carabao Cup final ticket. Now,
it is a comic strip of an event.
Is this to use old references? Is that like Zach Morris in disguise?
That's it. When you have to say, hi guys, just a little flag, I'm going to do an old reference now. That was when you know it's bad. Because normally you just crack on.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Well, I don't know who Alan was saved by. It wasn't the bell. But it was, I think he's, well, he put his dog up for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
What? That's got to be a joke. You can't do that. That must be illegal. It must be illegal.
If you will eat cup final tickets.
You know Pete's got a new dog?
Yes.
Sammy Amiobi. He's called his dog Sammy Amiobi.
Of course he has.
Yeah, beautiful little dog.
Lovely little
So
dog.
what's the plan when you buy this dog on Facebook Marketplace? You click the buy it now button and then you hope it shits before Sunday.
Exactly. You've got to buy a
free pair of Carabao Cup tickets.
If you feed it the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
Or the right stuff, depending on how you look at it.
No steak.
No,
absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a mad rush for tickets.
Yeah.
Well, we won't talk about Pete and his ticket thing. Maybe he'll be able to talk about that.
I mean, the WhatsApp group over the last week with Pete trying to get a ticket for this game on Sunday has been extraordinary.
I mean, look, all you got to do, people, is think about the lengths Pete will go
anyway
and the type of people he may find to try and get a ticket.
One of them is Nile Ranger.
I cannot wait.
He's not even joking.
No.
I cannot wait until Kieran Trippier lifts the trophy, then pulls the mask off.
Is that right?
It's going to be amazing.
The other day, it was literally like, I've heard a rumour that Nile Ranger's selling 100 of them. I've got to speak to him.
I can't get hold of him.
Crazy. Yeah.
So
on the show on Monday, of course, he was talking about crawling through the sewer to get up into Wembley to get into the game somehow.
Yeah, just like dress up as a turtle. Nobody will notice.
He asked Jules to another reference.
Hey, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I think he also kind of tried to get one off Jules because she's doing the show, and she said, "Fuck off."
No, I need it because of my job.
Yeah. So it was. It's been a bit of a. I think we should all hopefully watch the social media very closely, Ramble social media, to see if he actually gets inside the stadium.
Yeah, indeed.
It'll be a hard heart indeed to deny the man.
I would say so.
Exactly.
Do you feel a bit sorry for Nick Pope, who obviously is missing the game, and the fact that he was edited out of the front cover of the Matchday programme?
I feel more sorry for David De Gea because he hasn't even got sent off and he got edited out for symmetry purposes.
I know. Well, I find this extraordinary that...
Did they not have a photo of Karius then? They couldn't put Karius on there?
Just use that one where he's in the pink jacket.
Yeah, that's the problem though. It would just dominate. He's so beautiful, it would just dominate the whole cover.
But he must have press shots of himself in a Newcastle kit if he's a player for them these days.
You would think so.
Soft focus, no top on.
Maybe they didn't have any high. Yeah, maybe they didn't have any high res ones.
True enough. Well,
can't use that for print. It's a JPEG.
Listener Matt said about Aloysius Karius. He said if Chris Hemsworth ever did a film about being a goalkeeper, Karius could do the action.
Yes.
The working title could be Escape from Victory, which is a.
I do feel a bit sorry for Karius because the pressure is going to be remarkable for him on Sunday if he plays, which I assume he does, and he's got a real chance here. It's a proper fork in the road moment. He's got a real chance, and you feel for him because a young man. He's obviously worked really hard to get where he is. The fork in the road is like a redemption thing, or a confirmation of him just being almost like a comedy character, which I really hope he doesn't make an error in the final because I think it'll be really, really tough.
It'd be awful.
Yeah, but I mean, having said that, he's not played a top flight first team game for over 2 years.
Yeah.
So what really has he got to lose in this situation? It's not as if his career's absolutely flying. I mean, I have to say, if we go back to the 2018 final in Kiev, he's super unlucky because basically the whole narrative of his career is based around a game in which he made a couple of mistakes when he was concussed.
And on the game itself, the fly in the ointment is the Nick Pope fly.
Yeah.
I mean, with Nick Pope in there, you think they've got the best chance to win a trophy since you can remember.
You think
Newcastle.
that because I think you look at the form of the teams at the moment, and I don't think it makes. I think Karius is kind of a red herring. I think Manchester United are incredibly heavy favourites for this, and they would be even if Nick Pope was in goal.
But with the game against Liverpool, Newcastle at times look better than Liverpool. I know Liverpool. We've talked about Liverpool. They've been poor and they've been thrashed this week.
But that was Newcastle's best performance for weeks, and that was in a defeat in which they were climbing a mountain that was impossible to climb.
Sure, but they still played well, and it was not that long ago. So I take what you're saying, but I don't think this is. I wouldn't say Manchester United are heavy favourites. I understand Manchester United are riding that crest of a wave.
And also, Newcastle have had a week off. And Man United have played last night.
Yeah.
In a big, intense game.
But looking at the two sides, though, Manchester United have got more quality in there. There's no two ways about that. They've got a more experienced manager.
By the way, yeah.
Yeah, so they are favourites. Let's not be silly here. But this is an intriguing game, and I think that Newcastle, they'll have great support. All the cliches, da-da-da-da-da. They did it in the late 90s as well, and they had decent sides then, and it wasn't quite enough because they were playing, what was it, Arsenal, Wenger's Arsenal, in definitely in one of them, and was it Ferguson's United in the treble winning season?
It was 98 and 99
exactly.
Arsenal and United.
So of all the teams they could have faced in the finals back in those days, they were playing against two of the finest sides of the era.
And they like this current Newcastle United and not the best Newcastle side that you can think of. Although this one is heading up, whereas that one in the late 90s was sort of sliding down a little bit.
True, but you don't have the difference in quality of these two sides. Manchester United, we just talked about them. They're a little bit better, and form-wise, they're better as well. But Newcastle will go into this full of confidence, and they should do because they've been doing very, very well this season.
They also don't concede. I mean, they had a bit of a moment of madness against Liverpool. Of course, that can happen. But generally speaking, they also don't concede many goals at all.
It is a very stingy defence,
which is traditionally a really good thing in a cup final.
Yeah,
indeed, yeah. So they will need a little something extra because Manchester United, as we say, a little.
Here we
better.
go.
And Eddie Howe said, bringing the right person to speak to the players before the cup final could have a really powerful effect. He wants to bring in Kevin Keegan. So. Going back to what I just said, Andy, you're right. Manchester United are heavy, heavy favourites. So, yes, unfortunately, it looks like he won't be able to make it for the final, which is...
No, but Eddie also said that the reason
Keegan,
he'll make it... Yeah, the reason he won't be able to make it is because he lives in Manchester. Keep him there. Causing havoc, causing chaos. What could he do? Flat tyre on the coach. Anything.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I just... why can't you be like... Yeah, so I mean, I think we'll know by the manner of the first half performance of Newcastle if indeed they got Keegan to speak to them.
But I think, like, also going back to what you guys said, you mentioned the fact that they got to 2 cup finals in the late 90s and it wasn't enough. To bring back a man, with respect to Kevin, to bring back a man who's synonymous with Newcastle being quite close but not quite good enough.
Yeah.
In the league, for example, it's a bit of a strange move, I would say.
It is. None of those players would really know. Who
and I mean, obviously, Kevin's in his 70s now, and he hasn't been in the game for a long time.
Do you know what this is? I feel like we just said that we're talking about Ten Hag and Ferguson going for dinner. Ferguson knows this is an important game for Manchester United. He's like, don't worry, Eric, I've got a plan.
Yeah.
and he's put the feelers out and he's whispered in Eddie Howe's ear, you should get Kevin Keegan to speak to
the only thing is, like, obviously, Ferguson and Ten Hag meet in this really nice restaurant. You've seen the photo. It's like very intimate. Looks like a classy place.
Eddie and Kevin and a little chef.
I'd love to see him in a Pizza Hut. And a photo next to him in a Pizza Hut. Kevin with a piled high with the all-you-can-eat on the buffet. You're not using the salad bar? No.
I got food poisoning.